Scott, thank you for joining us. That's a terrific afternoon here and a perfect way to start the new year. Can I get your reflection on the game first?
Yeah, it was obviously really pleased with the result. Excuse me, my voice has really gone. We played differently today in the way that we pressed. We didn't jump our wide players onto their outside centre halves like we normally do because we were worried about their strength in the wide areas with Hutton and Tyree Shade on the other side, and we didn't want to leave kind of Joy and Harry exposed to that. So our wing backs in Darcy and Nick Cerula defended down the pitch, which kind of give them more of the ball, and we blocked up, and it was just a different tactic today that I felt was needed, and I thought the game plan was perfect, and I thought the execution of the game plan was even better. I thought the players did it brilliantly. So obviously really pleased.
Yeah, great execution of the game plan and massive credit to some of the players that came in today. We'll talk a little bit about sort of Rolls' involvement a little bit later on, but the likes of Joy, Harry's who's come in the last few games, obviously Corey's earned his place back. They all put in great performances today, didn't they?
Yeah, they were very good. Listen, Joy's come up against a very, very experienced striker in Charlie Austin today, and felt later on in the game that Charlie started peeling on that side, and I thought Joy did it. Defended him brilliantly, and of course he was very calm in possession as well. It was a good game for him. I'm really pleased with the boys who come in and played.
Yeah, and obviously we will now move on to Rolsey. He played a massive part in the first goal, and getting the ball to very calm and getting the ball to Darcy. He played it against Orsi, and then obviously a fantastic strike for the second goal as well. You must be so pleased. We spoke a lot about Jack in the last few weeks and how he's had to wait for his chance, and he's really taken it with both hands, isn't he?
He's done brilliant. He has. He's had to be patient. We've kept working with him on the training ground, and I thought he did his job brilliantly well today. Even from a defensive point of view as well, in terms of executing the game plan of what was needed from him was perfect. And of course, his attacking bits and pieces that he done was brilliant and great goal. Great goal, and obviously his involvement in the whole game. I thought he was very, very good today. He tired towards the end, which is why we brought him off. We
spoke after Friday about us in front of goal and how we needed to be a little bit more clinical. We certainly were today. Dan Orsi being one of those great strikers, performance from him. He's there at the right time to tap in from a couple of yards out and then perfectly executes a rebound. So your message must have got through to him really.
Yeah, I actually thought from the kick-off he got in and thought he should have shot. I don't know if you remember the actual kick-off. We do a set way of trying to get us in real early on in the game, and I felt he should have shot. And he looked round at me, even just a minute in, and I'm having a go at him for not pulling the trigger then, and he must have learned from that. But no, he was brilliant today, run his socks off, and again, another player that got the game plan perfect.
Yeah, and defensively, obviously, it would have been nice to keep the clean sheet, obviously conceding late on, but, he seemed a lot more calm and, a lot more sort of, I'm not sure what the right word is to describe this, because obviously it's hard to say this when you do concede such a late goal, but was that disappointing for you, or were you pleased with the overall performance?
I was obviously pleased with the overall performance, because I thought that we worked extremely hard yesterday on the game plan and again this morning, because driving in this morning I wasn't sure on one thing and we changed something and it worked perfectly and the players executed it brilliantly. Of course I'm disappointed to concede so late on. You want to try and come out of there with another clean sheet. But listen, the boys were brilliant today. Like I say, they got the game plan spot on, and I don't think it was a great spectacle in terms of us having loads of passes and controlling and dominating the game. I felt that we surrendered a lot of ground from our game plan, but it kind of didn't matter. They didn't really hurt us with it in my eyes. So in my opinion, I thought that the game plan was needed.
In terms of what we spoke about from the Friday game against MK Dons to now, do you think that we executed everything perfectly? Because we spoke about how we weren't far off on the MK Dons game. All we didn't do was score, and it was pleasing to see, I suppose, that the lads took a lot of that into the game today, and it worked.
It was a different game. It was a different game. I thought we really dominated the ball at MK and got into some brilliant areas and didn't really hurt the opposition that well. But today was different, a different game. We didn't dominate the ball as much, but we got the game plan spot on in terms of our defensive shape. Our rest defence was brilliant, and but we took our chances when it was called upon, and really proud of the players.
Cheers. Scott, we've talked a lot recently about how you picked up points when you're not playing particularly well, and you haven't got the results you deserve when you have played well. Today, it seemed to have all come together. You've played well and got the result you deserved. How satisfying is that?
Really satisfying, yeah, thank you. But yeah, very satisfying. Obviously, we always go after performances. I don't think that we, I don't know what the possession stats would be. I would dare say that it would probably be in their favour, which I don't like that. But I felt it was needed for today's game. I felt that if we didn't be as aggressive in terms of our press, and like I say, it was a different game plan in terms of my wide players. I didn't want to press their outside centre halves. I wanted them to stay with their wing backs because it would protect our outside centre halves. And we just kind of pressed from the middle of the pitch as opposed to outside of the pitch. And it was just different, and it just allowed them to have a little bit more of the ball. But like I say, it didn't bother me because they didn't really hurt us with it anyway. And I felt that the players executed the game plan perfect.
Yeah, there was a moment in the first half, I think it was Dion passed to Corey put it out to Jay, and it was a bit tense, and Jay turned the two attackers. You turned round and clapped at the crowd. What was the reason for that?
I just thought it was a brilliant action, and
yeah.
It was a lot of people would look at that as a heart in mouth situation, whereas I want the fans to embrace them moments because it's fantastic football, and whilst a lot of people will think it is heart in mouth, it's actually quite planned quite well, and
yeah.
I thought that it worked perfectly, that action, and I quite like it.
Yeah, and how important was it to have Joe Williams back in that midfield? He adds a bit of steel, doesn't he, to that midfield?
I thought he was brilliant today. Listen, Kemp, who he was up against, I literally, said to him, I want you to man for man mark Kemp. Wherever he goes, you go with him. If he comes off the pitch, you follow him off. And he's one of the better kind of number 10s in the division, isn't he? He's been unbelievable for Swindon. And I thought Jay, marked him out the game. I thought he had him. There was one action in the first half where he lost him and he nearly got in and he fluffed his lines, if you remember.
Yeah.
That was the only time he kind of got free of Jay. Apart from that, Jay was brilliant.
Yeah. And Danilo Orsi got 11 goals now, I think, in the league, 13 altogether in all competitions. I mean, how impressed have you been with him, how he's settled into this team?
He's been outstanding. He's a great lad. I absolutely love working with him. Top lad. Works his socks off, and I'm pleased he's got these goals that he's got because the work ethic that he puts in. He was really disappointed after the MK game that he hadn't done better in front of goal, and he looked a bit down about it. So we spoke about it, and he was fine. And obviously he's come back with that today. So I'm really pleased for Dan. Brilliant.
And I think you said after the MK Dons game, we're still in a good place. I mean, today you're 3 points off the playoffs, starting the new year there. I mean, you couldn't be in a better place, could you? Other than obviously, the higher.
No, we're really pleased about where we are. We just got to keep in touch with it, and we've got a couple of really tough months now. The teams that we play, it's going to be tough, but I really back my players to get results on the road as well as here. So. No, I think we're in a good position. And
transfer window's open. Can we expect any action soon?
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't say soon, but I think there will be action. I think that we are looking to probably add to what we've got. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Brilliant. Thanks, Scott. Well done.
Scott, congratulations on
Thank you.
on the win. Just touching a little bit on the transfer window. If you're expecting new additions and obviously maybe not so soon, do you still believe, even if there aren't any incomings into the club, do you think this sort of set of players, this squad, is it enough to sort of get where you want to sort of achieve at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think so. But me, being me, I'm greedy. I want more. I'd like to add more to what we've got. I think we've got a really good squad. We've got great lads in there who are willing to work hard for one another. They work hard every day. They're a good set of lads. But it'd be nice to always add to that and bring in, maybe one or two fresh faces. I think that always helps. We'll have to wait and see.
Something as well that we picked up on, I don't know if this was planned, and I think we just wanted a small bit of clarity. So Jay Williams coming off for Harry Forster, it didn't seem like a like-for-like change. Was that just because of was that a planned substitution, or is there something to the game plan to sort of see the game out there?
No, Jay kind of felt sore towards the end of the game, so it was more, to protect him really more than anything. But Will Wright played slightly higher up the pitch today, and we felt if Jay come off the pitch, we'd drop Will back down and then bring on an attacking player. So it almost looked, probably from the stands, that it was a bit of a strange swap, but we kind of knew what we were doing with it.
Yeah.
We just felt that Will could drop down a little bit deeper down the pitch, and Harry can be that player higher up the pitch where Will was playing.
Of course. And then going on to the next game now, Bradford away. There is a full week of preparations rather than games coming thick and fast because of the festivities of this time of year. So does that maybe take the momentum out of maybe the feeling of today's win and today's performance?
Not really. I think what we've got to do now is rest and recover. It's important we do that now because it's been really full on with the games that we've played. We've had some tough games. We've had some injuries. We've had some illness. We've had, suspension as well. So, it's important that we get some rest into the players now, and then we attack the Bradford game as best as we can.
Cheers, Scott. Thank you very much.
Dan, thank you for joining us. That's the perfect start for us and for you for the new year. Can I get your reflection on the game first?
Yeah, we knew after Friday night it was going to be a tough game, and we wanted to start off the new year correctly, and I think we did that today with the performance and 3 points to start the year, a couple goals. I couldn't have asked for much more.
Yeah, Scott said on Friday night after the MK game that we did everything absolutely perfectly apart from put the ball in the back of the net. Today seemed like a completely different story. We were clinical, obviously 2 goals for yourself, and it just seemed that it flowed a lot better today, and we were able to sort of put right what we were doing wrong on Friday night.
Yeah, I think there's games where obviously as strikers you do everything but score, and Friday night was more of a team. It was 5 or 6 of us who couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, so we knew going today with a real focus on making sure if we get chances we're putting them away, and I think we scored 3 very different goals. Obviously the tap-in, and then Rolsey's one shooting from distance, and the third one I think came from a rebound. So no, we're really happy with the performance, and obviously to get the 3 points was the main thing and put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, the tail end of 2023 was obviously successful for you. You've reached double figures for the season in all competitions, and you've started the year off perfectly this time too. 2 very well worked goals, obviously from the second one, obviously taking it around the goalkeeper, and the first one being in the right place at the right time. You must be delighted to sort of just start the year off in the way that you would have wanted.
Yeah, definitely. I think Larry talks about it a lot, and we spoke about it after the game Friday. It was, we didn't take our chances, but enjoy being in the right place at the right time. And they've just got to do the right thing and put it over the line. So thankfully we were able to do that today.
Yeah, we see you a lot, obviously, with Larry before the game. You're doing some finishing from close range. He's rolling the ball in. To some in the stands that may look a little bit peculiar, but it shows it works, doesn't it? Because you get in that position, you've got to be ready to score the goals, don't you?
Yeah, it's just repetition, being in the right place, body shapes, and just gives you a bit of a feel-good factor, even if it is from 1 yard out. And obviously today came from 1 yard out, made a bit of a meal of it, but it went over the line. So yeah, really happy with it, and really enjoy working with Larry.
Yeah, there's been some really impressive performances of late. Obviously, Corey's come back into the side, done really well. Unlucky not to keep a clean sheet today. One of your good mates, Jack Rolls, he's had to wait for his chance. He scored a cracking goal today. Obviously, played a big part in the build-up for the first as well. It must be pleasing to see the likes of these players sort of getting their chances and taking them with both hands.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got a really good group of boys here. Obviously, Corey went out of the team for a bit, and sometimes as players, like I've been there myself, you kind of need it to reset, and he's been unbelievable today. And I think there was one time the ball was offside and the rest blowing the whistle, and we still made a save to keep it out, which was fantastic for him. And obviously Jack Rolls, he's been a bit stop-start, had a couple of injuries and stuff, and for him to come on and score the goal on his first league start this year, I'm really happy for him, and hopefully continue for him.
Yeah, and obviously going back to a personal point, I'm sure you've set your own sort of goals and ambitions, and as we said, coming to the end of 2023, you must have thought you were on track, and as you say, today must be keeping you on track. Are you currently on track for your goals?
Yeah, I'd like to think so at the moment. Don't want to say too much about what I've set myself as targets or whatnot, but it's more about just putting in good performances, and I kind of know the goals will come because of the way we play, the way Gaffer gets us playing. We're going to create chances. Some games more than not. Obviously we saw MK Friday night, we had 18, 19 chances we could have scored from, and then there's other games we get 2 or 3, so no, as long as I'm putting the ball in the back of the net and playing well, I know they're going to keep coming.
Brilliant. Talking about the way the team plays, Scott said he's just said now that they changed tactics today with the way they were pressing and that, not from the wide net. Is it a testament to the team how well you've adapted to those changes in tactics? Yeah,
I think as a group of boys, especially from the start, I think everyone forgets we're such a new team, and the information we're taking on board, been really quickly, and I think you can see from the performances since the start of the year, it's been really good. So we made a slight change today, but I don't think it was an issue for the boys. Everyone's switched on, everyone's got a good footballing brain, so we were able to execute that on the pitch.
Yeah, and obviously you scoring the 2 goals obviously gives you confidence. That was a great run you had in that second half where you nutmegged 2 players, I think. But did you see like this is my hat trick chance?
Yeah, I thought this was it. I kind of thought back to like Luis Suarez prime, when he's nutmegged a couple of people and then like sidewinded it into the bottom corner. But yeah, it weren't meant to be today. But I'll take the 2 goals, so I'm not going to complain too much.
Yeah, but like I say, I think you've got 13 goals in all competitions so far. You must be absolutely delighted with where you are in the season with your personal talent.
Yeah. Me and Larry spoke at the start of the season. I think we said I was like 1 in 3 to start. I wanted to get down to 1 in 2, and I'm there at the moment. So I'm going to keep it going and listen, see what happens. How many I can get by the end of the season.
Absolutely, and at the moment you're 3 points off the playoffs as a team. I mean, that's a really good position to be in at this stage of the season for Crawley.
Yeah, definitely. I think you asked most fans at the start of the season, not only Crawley fans but everyone else, what they thought would happen to Crawley this year. I'm sure it's a very different picture now. We're going to keep working hard, and we'll keep what we want to do inside the change room and see what the season brings. But it's been a really good start, and we want to carry it on the second half of the season.
Excellent, thanks, Dan.
Dan, congratulations today on your goals and obviously the Crawley win. Going on to Bradford on Saturday. There's going to be, it's another away fixture in such a quite hectic festive period of away games, it seems to be for Crawley. So is there sort of like a change in sort of the mindset and like the preparation? You do have a full week going into it instead of just a couple of days. Is there anything that sort of changed your mind or anything like that?
I think obviously having a few more extra days to recover's the main thing. I can't tell. 3 games in a week and then probably 5 in 2 weeks. It was almost like you finish one game and you're starting the next one. Well, at least now we can have a bit of a breather, debrief, kind of then look towards Bradford. But it's an exciting game, Bradford away. Obviously, you know how many fans they get, really nice stadium to go to, and that kind of gives you a bit of a buzz and kind of the get up and go to go up there and put in a good performance again.
And just to sort of comment on like Scott and just like how it's been under him recently, the entire sort of year, so when he came in January, I believe it was 57 points over like the course of January to December, which would have placed 16th in last season's points total. And just sort of the start of this season, having Crawley fans getting a bit excited about the playoffs, is this really sort of a message of trust the process, because Scott seems to be doing a fantastic job? Yeah,
definitely. I think he's always said to us, trust the way we play. We're going to go after performances and the results will follow. Some games it doesn't happen, but then other games it does. So you can see how well we've done as a team this year, and that's credit to how hard he works and how hard the coaching staff work and what they want us to do and how quickly we take it on board. So it's been fantastic with me personally and with a group. We've had some results which haven't gone our way, but he's never changed. He's always stuck to what he believes in, and that sends a really clear message to the boys, and we're doing all right so far, so we'll keep it going.
Fantastic.